You wake up, grab your phone, and start scrolling before your feet even hit the floor. Meanwhile, that book sits unread, that skill stays unlearned, and you wonder why you're not progressing. Here's the brutal truth. You're giving away the most powerful hour of your entire day. I wasted years doing this until I finally understood what was actually happening. Your next 5 years will be decided by what you do in that first hour after waking up. If you want to know how to stop wasting your potential and actually become who you're capable of being, here's exactly how to do it. My friend, the moment you wake up, your body is literally giving you superpowers. Your dopamine is peaking, that's your focus fuel. Your cortisol is naturally high, that's your energy and alertness dialed up. Together, they create what scientists call a flow-prone state. Your mind is primed for deep work, ready to crush tasks that would feel impossible later in the day. But the brutal truth, this window slams shut fast. By mid-morning, you're done. Emails flood in, messages blow up your phone, meetings hijack your calendar. Suddenly, everyone else's priorities become your priorities. That cognitive advantage you had, gone. Now you're trying to force focus when your brain is running on fumes, wondering why everything feels like pushing a boulder uphill. The successful people you look up to, they're not special. They don't have better brains or secret hacks. They just understand one thing. Those morning hours are the most valuable time block they'll ever have. So they protect it like their life depends on it. They use it intentionally. They build their future during these hours while everyone else is still hitting snooze. Here's what makes this window even more valuable. Neuroplasticity peaks in the morning. Your brain is in what researchers describe as a heightened learning state. Whatever information, skills, or patterns you expose yourself to during this time gets encoded more efficiently. You're not just more productive, you're literally rewiring your brain faster. Input matters. Scroll social media, and you're strengthening neural pathways for distraction and dopamine-seeking behavior. Read, write, learn, or plan, and you're strengthening pathways for focus and intentional action. This isn't abstract psychology. Brain imaging studies show measurable differences in neural pathway development based on morning activities. Over 5 years, this compounds dramatically. Someone who uses their morning neuroplasticity window to learn develops cognitive capabilities that someone who doesn't simply cannot match. The gap widens every single day, not because of talent or intelligence, but because of consistent pattern reinforcement during peak brain states. Cortisol follows a circadian rhythm. It peaks 30 to 45 minutes after waking, then gradually declines throughout the day. When you align focused work with this natural peak, you're working with your biology instead of against it. When you sleep through this peak or waste it on low-value activities, you're literally working against your body's natural performance optimization. Most people do this backwards. They waste their peak cortisol window, then try to force productivity in the afternoon when cortisol has crashed. They drink caffeine to compensate, which disrupts their sleep, which makes the next morning harder, which reinforces the pattern. This cycle explains why so many people feel perpetually behind despite working constantly. So I'm about to walk you through the exact 5-step protocol that leverages this neuroplasticity window. But first, you need to understand why your biology is literally setting you up to win. Let me break down exactly what this looks like in practice. Water first, 16 ounces minimum. Your brain is 73% water. After 6 to 8 hours without hydration, cognitive function is measurably impaired. Studies show even 2% dehydration reduces focus, memory, and decision-making ability. Hydration isn't optional if you want your brain operating at capacity. Movement second. This doesn't require a full workout. 10 push-ups, basic stretches, or a 5-minute walk activates your sympathetic nervous system and increases blood flow to your brain. Movement raises your core body temperature, which signals to your circadian system that it's time to be awake. This makes the cortisol response more pronounced and sustainable. One goal third, write down the single most important thing you need to accomplish today, not a list of 20 items, one specific, measurable outcome. This creates clarity. Your brain now has a target. Without this target, you default to reactive mode, responding to whatever demands attention rather than moving toward what matters. Learning fourth, 5 pages of a book, 1 educational video, a podcast episode on a skill you're developing. The content matters less than the consistency. You're building the habit of daily input during peak neuroplasticity. Over time, this creates knowledge compounding that accelerates faster than you expect. Protection fifth, no phone, no messages, no emails. This hour is yours. Every notification you respond to is someone else's priority interrupting your goals. The average person checks their phone within 5 minutes of waking up. They immediately put themselves in reactive mode. They've lost control of their day before it even starts. I want to hear from you on this one. Out of these 5 steps, water, movement, 1 goal, learning, protection, which one do you think will be your biggest challenge? Be honest. Is it keeping your phone in another room? Is it choosing just one goal instead of 10? Comment below, because knowing where you'll struggle is half the battle, and your answer might help someone else realize they're not alone in this. But the truth is, this routine isn't about productivity hacks, it's about identity. Every time you follow through on this protocol, you're providing evidence to yourself that you're the type of person who does hard things consistently. You're building self-trust. This matters more than the actual tasks you complete. Self-trust compounds. When you trust yourself, you set bigger goals because you believe you'll follow through. When you don't trust yourself, you either avoid setting goals or set small ones you know won't require much effort. This creates a ceiling on what you're willing to attempt. Most people never break through this ceiling because they never build the foundational self-trust required. The math is straightforward. 1 hour daily equals 365 hours yearly. That's 15 full 24-hour days. Over 5 years, that's 75 complete days of focused work on skills, knowledge, and goals. 75 days where your competition is asleep or distracted. But the real advantage isn't just the hours, it's the mindset shift that occurs when you consistently do what you said you would do. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for motivation. You've proven to yourself that you execute regardless of how you feel. This single shift changes everything. Here's the reality of what actually happens when you commit to this. Week 1 feels difficult. Your body resists the new schedule. You're tired. The routine feels forced. This is normal. Your circadian rhythm takes 7 to 10 days to adjust to schedule changes. Push through this phase. It gets easier. Week 2 through 4, the routine starts feeling less forced. You're still using willpower, but less of it. Your body begins anticipating the wake-up time. You start noticing small improvements, clearer thinking, better energy, more consistent output. Month 2 through 3, the shift accelerates. What required significant effort now feels normal. You've built the neural pathways. The routine is becoming automatic. This is when most people quit because they expect dramatic results, but only see incremental improvement. The compounding hasn't fully kicked in yet. Stay consistent. Month 4 through 6, the compounding becomes visible. You've completed skills courses, others are still planning to start. You've read 15 to 20 books, while others scrolled social media. You've built projects, while others talked about building projects. The gap between you and your previous self is now obvious. Year 2, you're operating on a different level. The knowledge compounds, the skills stack, the consistent execution builds momentum that carries you forward with less effort. You're not fighting yourself anymore. You're not constantly starting over. You're building on solid foundation. Year 3 through 5, the results become undeniable. You've developed expertise in areas where you were previously average. You've built things you once thought required more talent or resources than you had. You've become someone you didn't think was possible when you started. Not because of one decision, but because of one decision repeated 1,825 times. My friend, you will miss days. Travel disrupts schedules. Illness happens. Life creates exceptions. The difference between people who transform and people who quit is how they handle missed days. Miss one day, start again immediately the next morning. Don't justify it. Don't create a story about why it happened. Just resume. Miss 2 consecutive days, evaluate what went wrong. Was it controllable or uncontrollable? If controllable, fix the system. If uncontrollable, accept it and move forward. Miss 3 or more consecutive days. You're not dealing with exceptions anymore. You're dealing with pattern failure. Restart the habit building process, recommit, adjust the system if needed, but understand that consistency matters more than perfection. The goal isn't a perfect streak. The goal is 70 to 80% consistency over years. That level of consistency, maintained over time, produces results that 100% consistency for 3 months never will. Most people do this backwards. They aim for perfection, burn out, quit, then start over repeatedly. They never build momentum because they never maintain consistency long enough for compounding to work. Progress isn't linear. You'll have weeks where everything clicks and weeks where nothing seems to work. This is normal. Your brain is adapting, your skills are developing, your understanding is deepening. This process includes plateaus. Plateaus don't mean you're not improving. They mean you're consolidating gains before the next jump. Most people quit during plateaus because they confuse lack of visible progress with lack of actual progress. They don't understand that the most significant growth often happens during periods where you can't see measurable results. The neural rewiring is occurring. The pattern recognition is developing. The skills are integrating. You just can't see it yet. Trust the process during plateaus. Maintain consistency. The breakthrough comes, but only if you don't quit before it arrives. Every morning, you don't use this protocol, someone else does. Every morning you hit snooze. Someone else is learning, building, improving. This isn't motivational rhetoric. This is mathematical reality. The people you're competing with for opportunities, positions, success, they're using their mornings intentionally. You're not competing against where you were yesterday. You're competing against everyone else who wants the same outcomes you want. Some of them are already using their peak cognitive hours strategically. They're building advantages daily. If you're not doing the same, you're falling behind by default. 5 years compounds this gap into something nearly impossible to close. Someone who has invested 1,825 hours into skill development, knowledge acquisition, and goal execution, while you slept in and scrolled social media, has built capabilities you cannot match without equivalent investment. Time is the resource you cannot buy more of. How you use it determines everything. I've learned this the hard way. Motivation is unreliable. Some mornings you'll feel motivated. Most mornings you won't. If you only act when motivated, you'll be inconsistent. Inconsistency prevents compounding. No compounding means minimal results, despite occasional effort. Discipline is showing up regardless of motivation. It's understanding that action creates motivation, not the other way around. Most people wait to feel motivated before taking action. This is backwards. You take action, then motivation follows as you build momentum. This is why the first 30 days are critical. You're building the discipline foundation that makes motivation irrelevant. You're proving to yourself that you can execute without needing to feel like it. Once you've proven this, everything becomes easier because you're no longer at the mercy of fluctuating emotions. By the way, I just launched YouTube memberships on the channel. If you've ever wanted to go beyond these videos and really dig into the execution side of building discipline, this is it. Members get exclusive content on the nuances, real-world challenges, and daily practices that actually work. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, check out the join button below. I'd love to have you on board. Here's something more powerful than willpower that most people completely ignore. Your environment determines your behavior more than your willpower. If your phone is next to your bed, you'll check it when your alarm goes off. If your workout clothes are laid out, you're more likely to exercise. If your workspace is clear and ready, you're more likely to work. Design your environment to make the desired behavior easy and the undesired behavior difficult. Put your phone in another room. Set out everything you need for your morning routine the night before. Remove obstacles between you and the action you want to take. Most people try to force behavior change through willpower while leaving environments unchanged. This fails consistently. Change the environment and the behavior changes with minimal effort. Your morning space matters. If you wake up and immediately face chaos, clothes everywhere, dishes piled up, cluttered desk, your brain registers disorder. This increases decision fatigue and reduces your capacity for focused work. Clean, organized space signals clarity and purpose. This matters more than you think. Let's address the one thing that makes or breaks everything. None of this works if you're chronically sleep deprived. Waking at 5 a.m. requires going to bed at a time that allows 7 to 8 hours of sleep. This isn't negotiable. Your brain needs this recovery time for the neuroplasticity benefits to occur. Sleep debt accumulates. Miss 1 hour of sleep and you're operating at reduced capacity the next day. Miss 1 hour daily for a week and you're functioning significantly below baseline. Most people in their 20s underestimate how much their sleep deprivation is costing them. If you're currently sleeping 6 hours per night and trying to wake up earlier, you're doing it wrong. Fix your sleep schedule first. Get consistent 7 to 8 hour nights for 2 weeks, then start waking earlier. The goal isn't to sacrifice sleep for morning hours. The goal is to shift your schedule so you're using your best brain state intentionally. Blue light from screens disrupts melatonin production. If you're on your phone or laptop right before bed, you're making it harder to fall asleep and reducing sleep quality. Cut screens 90 minutes before your target sleep time. This single change improves sleep quality measurably. What I'm about to share next is the reality that separates the people who transform over 5 years from the people who quit after 5 weeks. It's uncomfortable to accept, and it goes against the grind harder mentality everyone preaches. But if you skip this, nothing else matters. My friend, the people around you will either support this shift or resist it. Some will mock the idea of waking at 5 a.m. Others will make comments about hustle culture or grinding. This reveals more about their own relationship with discipline than about the validity of your choice. You don't need their approval. You need their absence during your morning hour. If you live with others, communicate that this time is non-negotiable. Set boundaries. Protect your focus window. Over time, your results do the talking. People who mocked your routine will start asking questions when they notice your progress. People who resisted your boundaries will start respecting them when they see you're serious. Your consistency proves your commitment more effectively than any explanation. I need you to shift how you're thinking about timelines completely. This is a 5-year strategy, not a 5-week challenge. Most people think in terms of weeks or months. They want quick results. When results don't appear immediately, they quit, and it goes against the grind harder mentality, mediocrity, because nothing meaningful compounds in weeks. Shift your timeline. Think in years. Accept that month 1 won't look impressive. Accept that month 6 might still feel like you're not where you want to be. The transformation happens in years 2 through 5, when the compounding becomes exponential. People who succeed long-term understand delayed gratification. They're willing to invest today for results that appear years later. People who fail consistently prioritize immediate comfort over future benefit. They can't see past the discomfort of waking up early to the capability they're building by doing so. You could skip this entirely. Keep your current routine, sleep until 7 or 8, start your day reactively, use your peak brain hours on email and meetings, see where you are in 5 years. This isn't a judgment, it's a choice. Some people are satisfied with gradual passive progress. They're comfortable with where they're headed at their current pace. If that's you, there's no reason to change. But if there's any part of you that knows you're capable of more, that feels frustrated with your current progress, that wants to build something significant, then you already know the answer. You're reading this because some part of you recognizes that your current approach isn't getting you where you want to go fast enough. My friend, the information in this video is worthless without implementation. You could understand every principle I've explained, agree with every point, and still accomplish nothing if you don't actually set the alarm and follow through. Implementation separates people who change from people who just consume content about changing. Implementation is setting your alarm for 5 a.m. tonight, not next week, when you feel ready. Implementation is doing it tomorrow, even when you sleep poorly tonight and feel terrible in the morning. The first morning is the hardest because it's unfamiliar. The second morning is hard because you're still adjusting. The third morning is hard because you're tired from 2 early mornings. This is the filter. Most people don't make it past week 1 because they expected it to feel good immediately. It won't feel good immediately. It feels difficult, uncomfortable, and questionable. Push through anyway. Week 2 is easier. Week 3 is easier still. By week 4, you're starting to see why this matters. By month 2, you won't want to go back. Picture 2 versions of yourself 5 years from now. Version 1 woke up at 5 a.m. and used that hour intentionally for 1,825 days. Version 2 kept sleeping in and using mornings reactively. Version 1 has read 300 books, completed multiple skill certifications, built several projects, developed expertise in their field, expanded their professional network strategically, and invested thousands of hours in deliberate practice. Version 2 has consumed thousands of hours of social media, started and abandoned multiple goals, maintained the same skill level they had 5 years ago, and wondered why opportunities aren't appearing despite working hard. Both versions worked 40-hour weeks at their jobs. Both had the same 24 hours daily. The only difference was 1 hour each morning. That single hour, compounded over 5 years, created completely different life trajectories. This isn't hypothetical. This is exactly what happens. The version you become depends entirely on the choice you make tomorrow morning when that alarm goes off. 5 years will pass, whether you use them or not. That's not negotiable. What is negotiable is whether you'll actually become someone you respect. Here's what most people miss. This isn't about productivity. It's about proving to yourself that you can do hard things when nobody's watching, that you can keep promises to yourself when it would be easier to break them, that you're not just someone who consumes information about change, you're someone who actually changes. The alarm goes off tomorrow morning. You'll either reinforce the pattern of the person you've always been, or you'll take one step toward becoming who you're capable of being. There's no middle ground here. No hack that lets you skip the discomfort. The only way through is through. If you found this video helpful, this next video right here will take you even further. Your choice, your life. Start now.